a disaster hits, a flood, an earthquake, and God forbid, a terrorist attack, CAL FIRE is the go-to fire department.
CAL FIRE really exemplifies our primary mission, and that is that we are an all-service, all-risk fire department.
Attacking any type of situation, any type of emergency that comes our way.
We run the full gamut of calls, and we have to know a little bit about everything. We have a culture in our department that we can do anything.
When OES calls for a service, they call CAL FIRE first.
There's no other fire department that can say that they can work from the Oregon border to the Mexican border.
Our department's been around, for 100+ years, and I think it's likely to be here for 100 more.
The men and women of this organization are completely dedicated in their pursuit of making sure that the citizens of California are safe.
As CAL FIRE, we are California's fire department, and I am proud to wear this patch.
If it went all the way back to the beginning, people today probably wouldn't even believe what it was like back then.
We were issued a tin pot, a hat, a pair of gloves, and a pair of goggles.
I worked in a unit where if you didn't like long sleeves, you cut them off. If you didn't like hard hats, you wore a cowboy hat.
My initial training lasted about 2 hours, and I was on the back of a fire engine, which is almost inconceivable today.
We had no safety gear. We had no turnout clothing.
We didn't have fire shelters. Our radio communication, if you could see somebody, you could hit them with the radio. We didn't have a lot of things. We didn't even have computers in every fire station.
We were not real firefighters to a lot of firefighters in the municipal service. Today, that's different. A lot of what we did on our union side changed that.
Needless to say, I'm proud of where CDF was when I started, but I'm 100 times more proud now.
Over the last 30 years, there's been lots of changes in the fire service, or particularly in CAL FIRE CDF.
When I started the department 23 years ago, we primarily did wildland firefighting. I was on a wildland engine. Responding to medical aids and traffic collisions were kind of new.
As we expand, just like other fire departments throughout the state, our types of responses are going to have to expand and evolve.
We're continually asked to push the envelope to do something more and something different. And as technology changes, we change with it and we go forward.
CAL FIRE, like the United States military, is trained and equipped to fight more than one battle at the same time. We handle more wildland fires than any other department in the world.
Our incident command teams provide not only organizational structure for wildland fires, but other incidents as well.
Whether it be a vegetation fire, earthquakes, floods, a variety of man-made or natural disasters.
Basically, we're fighting wars on our civilian soil and setting up incident bases in a matter of hours.
Logistics section, when we're activated, we basically build a city. We bring in all the support functions where we feed, we sleep, and we shower all the fire personnel that are assigned to the incident.
The scope of an incident that we might have might be as little as a couple hundred people up to maybe even a few thousand.
We mobilize the largest firefighting force in the world, and we move quickly and effectively to extinguish all fires in the state of California.
The AirTech program is integral to CAL FIRE in its initial attack firefighting phase.
CAL FIRE's mission statement's 95% of all fires at 10 acres or less. And a big part of the reason why that happens is because of aerial assets. We don't put fires out. We can be there to start working on them right away a lot faster than maybe an engine could get to it.
All our air bases are spaced within a 20-minute response between each air tanker, so an incident commander is able to get an aircraft over the fire within 20 minutes, any place in the state of California.
The HeliTAC crew works with the helicopter to suppress fire. We work together coordinating bucket drops. So while the helicopter is in flight, we would be on the ground.
It's remarkable how well we work together, how much They interact with us and tell us what they need, and we're able to deal with it.
The thing about a bulldozer is it never gets tired.
Especially in grass and brush, you can cover a lot of ground with them in a short amount of time.
Working in unison with the engine crews, we'll cut line, they'll do hose lays up behind us.
Where we take the tractors on fires, a lot of it is the uncharted territory on tractors. We do run the risk of rollovers. You can only take so much heat with a tractor, but a lot of the time we are going direct. It's pretty exciting.
With the bulldozer as a resource, we're one piece of a big, big toolbox.
Proud to say that our department has grown and adapted with the state of California, addressing the needs of the citizens.
Through our over 140 cooperative agreements with local government, CAL FIRE is the fire department for your local communities.
Every time something comes up that someone can't handle, they call 911 and CAL FIRE shows up.
We go from medical aid to traffic collisions to wildland fires. We do it all.
The level of service provided by paramedics on fire apparatus in general brings up the quality of care to the public in general.
It's important to have paramedics on the engine because time is of the essence.
And we strive to be on scene of every call within 5 minutes. That gives that patient that advantage if they have stopped breathing, if their heart has stopped.
As paramedics in CAL FIRE, we have a much broader scope than an EMT or first responder. The stuff we can do with cardiac monitors, intubations-wise, to help people breathe. We just have a lot bigger toolbox that we can use to help the public in any situation.
It's important for CAL FIRE to have truck company operations for their specialized operations for ladders, your search and rescue aspects, extrication related, vehicle accidents. That carries a lot more tools than most engine companies do, and the personnel assigned to that are trained specifically with those tools.
Technical rescue is a very wide term that involves a number of different types of out-of-the-ordinary day-to-day emergency responses.
Technical rescue can be anything from a moving water rescue, a building collapse, what we would consider a heavy rescue, a low-angle rescue, or a high-angle rescue where someone's gone down an embankment or stuck up on a steep slope.
Also involves trench rescue, confined space rescue. It's a very large variety, as well as urban search and rescue.
Our technical rescue team in San Luis Obispo County averages about 30 rescues a year. Half of them are cliff rescues and the other half are surf rescues.
We also basically picked up a lifeguard program that also is heavily involved in the ocean rescue, and it's the first and only lifeguard program that CAL FIRE is managing currently.
Rescues using our short haul system, where we lower a rescuer over the side.
The short haul operation is a thrill. We do a very controlled rappel from the helicopter, everything from water rescue to high terrain, and really we need to be ready to deal with anything and the worst.
We respond to any type of hazardous situation involving hazardous materials.
Everything from unknown materials on the side of the road to highway incidents, train derailments. We deal with fixed facilities that have hazardous materials in them, everything from chlorine to ammonia.
There's specialized equipment on the hazmat unit to keep the personnel safe and help us mitigate those calls.
Our equipment being dedicated, we're on duty every day, our equipment's checked out, we're ready to go.
It's very challenging, whether it's fuel additives or terrorist attacks. Something's always changing in the hazmat field.
Most aircraft accidents occur either on takeoff or landing, and therefore there has to be a 24-hour presence at the airport to provide fire protection. And since we are a county airport and CAL FIRE provides protection to the county, we offer that service.
As the largest fire department in California, not only is CAL FIRE responsible for the obvious emergencies and call for service that we respond to 24/7, 365, we have many other responsibilities such as resource management, fire prevention, education, law enforcement. The department has many, many, many facets.
Our academy in Ione is a place that's like a rite of passage. You transition from a seasonal employee and you now are transitioning into a career.
We really get a glimpse into the future of our department. Seeing that kind of newer generation in our fire service come in and be really motivated, be professional and excited about their training. What the Academy does is it provides that foundational common training statewide.
So we have a Firefighter Academy and we have a Company Officer Academy. Those are 2 6-week modules.
We call an all-risk academy. It entails all different types of props, scenarios, classes, coursework. You name it, it's done here.
We want to make sure that we have very well-trained firefighters on the fire ground, that they're safe and they give the best service possible to the public.
Training is important because it prepares us for that all-risk job.
To me, training is the most important thing that we do for us as a crew, so that we're able to operate together correctly. We're able to operate off whatever equipment we have. There's no chance to learn on the job when someone's in danger.
We try to get some sort of training in on a daily basis so that year-round, 365 days, so that when the alarm goes off, we're ready to act.
I'm very proud of all of the people in CAL FIRE and how they respond to the growing demands for emergency services in California.
And it's the greatest job in the world. I mean, you wake up and you never know what you're going to get.
Being able to help someone in any given situation.
Being able to serve, feeling good at the end of the day, being with the team.
And when the public calls us to show up, I want to make sure we can do the best job we've been trained to do.
I like to think that we treat every person and every call for service with the same amount of professionalism.
People come in and spend time and work not just because they're being paid to do it, because they want to see the department grow and become better.
The name change from California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection to CAL FIRE represented a quantum leap.
It became very apparent that we needed to deal with the name because CDF didn't tell the entire story. CAL FIRE is much more accurate in its representation of what the men and women of CAL FIRE do every day.
Changing the uniform, changing the name made significant differences in how we are perceived by the firefighting professionals across the country.
I think that CAL FIRE actually represents a total mission of what CAL FIRE has done.
When you hear CAL FIRE, you know that the largest fire department's coming to help you out.
We are California's fire department, and I'm proud to wear the CAL FIRE patch.